Yeah, I was an intern from like 2000, 2009. I was working in the booking, so that was the production office where we were the ones that basically assembled all the books and stuff like that.
That's where the letter page title pull came from.
Yeah, it comes from basically that office. How it is nowadays, it's basically they get all the artwork from the artists, the inkers, and all that stuff. They all do it, and then they send it to us digitally. We then in turn assemble it, then send it to the printer. A lot of us do the correction work though. Like if anything needs a color change or anything like that, we actually change it. We also do the stuff. We also do packaging for our foreign imprints. Like I work directly with Panini, the sticker company. So what we would do is we get the art, they would send us an email. We need the artwork and the lettering for such and such books. Like I worked on a lot of the Stephen King books, packaging those up. Dark Tower. So what I would do is I would get all the files needed, turn it into a zip file, and then email it to them. And if they needed a physical copy, I would get it on a DVD and then mail it. It would get there in a couple of days.
Okay.
But yeah, that was pretty much it. A lot of the cool stuff that happens in there is usually the stuff that's behind the scenes when it comes to like the movies and stuff. So we get sneak peeks and stuff on before it even comes out. So like we got to see some of those movies way ahead of time. We also get to see the books before they're put together. So I got to see a lot of Dark Reign or any of that stuff. So that was when like Osborn was running S.H.I.E.L.D. with the Dark Avengers.
I'm really spotty with
the current stuff?
With superhero comics.
Alright, well, there was one point where the Green Goblin was running S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah, it was weird, but it happened. So, during that time, he gathered a whole bunch of villains, disguised them as the heroes, and they were this sounds familiar. It's called Dark Reign.
I'm mostly familiar with the what goes on in the comics through the monthly sales chart analyses that are posted at the beat.
Yeah.
Okay.
They that was like 2 years ago, I think. That was where that storyline ran. That was like the third part of their 5-year line. How Marvel does their books now is they do a 5-year plan or a 10-year plan, and they go, okay, this event happens, and then this event happens, and then this event happens, and then this event happens. And by the time that event is over, the whole universe has changed to the point where a lot of new people can actually pick up the book and get into it. But the best thing at Marvel was basically just working with the people there, getting to meet a lot of the editors and the artists. I got to meet like all the top X-Men editors. I got to meet Tom Edwin, which is basically the guy who oversees the entire X-Men department of stuff. Joe Quesada, who's editor-in-chief at the time. We actually had meetings with him like once a week because we were production, so he would give us, pointers on stuff from the industry and just say, okay, this is what's coming down the pipe. Just make sure that if it comes across your desk, that it goes to the right person. I was there when he did the Red Hulk storyline, so there was a lot of stuff behind like we couldn't talk about it. Even inside Marvel, you weren't allowed to talk about it, which is weird. Yeah, like the intern who was the writer, the writing intern, he was directly with that group of people, and he could not talk about Red Hulk. So what we did was we joked around, and we would come up with who the Red Hulk was, and we actually had on our wall a whole bunch of different drawings of who we thought the Red Hulk was, and mine was the Kool-Aid Man. Just bursting out of the wall. They would tell us to take it down every couple of days, but they would keep them. They would keep them in the main office. They would tell us to take it down off our wall. But it was pretty cool. A few of the guys that I worked with back then are actually still at Marvel as writers and as production guys. I come across them like at New York Comic Con every once in a while, saying hi and go. But it was one of those things that you wouldn't believe it unless you actually experienced it, like that type of stuff. Do you have any questions?
Well, the most that I'm at all familiar with the inner workings of comic companies, I mean, not personal, but from what I've read on the internet would be Archie Comics. Alright. Because I'm a member of the Archie band forum, and there's some writers and artists on there, and they sometimes share some stuff.
I've actually, came up with Edwin. He was one of my instructors in school.
Yeah, he actually, he was super nice. Back when Archie's Weird Mysteries, when the cartoon...
He's the main artist.
When the cartoon ended and they switched the comic over to Archie's Mysteries, it was just like a CSI type.
Yeah.
He actually sent me, well, he had a guy at their house send me like the first few issues of the comic for free.
That's awesome. I like his stories about working at Archie, because he said you have to, and you know how his voice is like, you know, you have to be able to draw Archie the same way he's been drawn like for 40 to 50 years. You can't do any variation.
Except now they're revamping him.
Yeah, I like the old Archie. My son grew up reading Archie Digest, which is weird because he used to love looking at the things.
Have you read Archie Meets the Punisher?
Yes, and I actually, it was weird because John Romita Jr. drew Archie, and that is a weird take on Archie. I do like the Archie version of the Punisher though, when they drew it in. It was funny. I do, one of my favorite books now is the Archie Afterlife stuff, the zombie stuff.
Yeah.
I love that info. I love artwork.
The delays have been awful. I think, wasn't like one of them an accident, like a fender bender or something, that's the reason that it's been delayed? I think I read something.
I think it's like something weird that it was just unexpected, and they didn't think that it would have hindered production, but it did. So they just put it on a short hiatus. But now it's coming out as I think they're changing the title again to something Archie's Horror or something. They're re-changing the brand. So it'll be more than just zombies. It'll be like vampires. And
well, no, but they mentioned that early on, that it would be more than just zombies. But also, I think Sabrina number 2 is finally going to come out. Like,
that was another one that took forever to come out.
Yeah, number 2 is going to come out like in the next month or two, I think.
That was the thing though. Archie was one of those books that, as an artist, you had to be able to draw it as it looked day one. Was that so cool?
Not as day one because Bob Montana was the official artist, but then you have to draw it like Dan DeCarlo.
Yeah.
So.
I forgot Dan DeCarlo was the big artist on that film. But yeah, I like that. I like how who else was there? When I went to school, I went to Joe Cooper School, the comic book school.
I've heard of that, yeah.
And I got to meet the brothers, Andy and Adam. I got to meet Joe himself before he passed away. And when you go through the school, everybody's such a small school, so everybody's tight-knit, so you do end up meeting a lot of people through that school. And that's another reason why I like Marvel, because it was basically an extension of the school. Anything else?
Yeah.
Okay, echo.
Question, I think this is like shortly after Disney bought Marvel, so I don't know if that was when you were...
It was around the time I was leaving that did the
Okay, here's the thing, okay, this mega-style miniseries called 15 World was suddenly published by Marvel, like out of the blue.
Yeah.
But there was indications in the story itself that it actually dated back to like 2002, and it's just been sitting around. And there's a theory that it was just sitting in a drawer somewhere, and Disney basically came out with an edict like, you know, whatever you've already paid for, get it out there and make some money off it. Is that true?
Disney is like, listen, you have all this stuff you're sitting on. Any unpublished stuff, put it out. Somebody most likely will buy it. a lot of the stuff people do buy because you never know. If you don't know what the market is, sometimes putting it out into or creating a new market, it does sell. What was the book? Like Mary Jane loves Spider-Man.
That's what I was going to compare to, because did the Marvel manga influence, wasn't that like early 2000s?
It was, and that was after they tried their hand at Marvel manga. They did a bit of a bad job. In the 70s, they sold off their characters to Japan, and there was actual Spider-Man manga by Japanese writers, Japanese artists.
Wasn't there also a TV series of
yeah, Spider-Man.
I've seen like a clip of it.
The opening sequence is just basically Power Rangers with Spider-Man in it. But yeah, it was Marvel is, like at that time, see Marvel, if you notice how when Marvel's going through a bad time, you'll see their imprints show up at different places. Marvel was going at a bad time in the 90s, so what they did, so Spider-Man off to Sony, Fantastic Four and X-Men went to Fox. New Line bought Captain America and all these other things. Then, as they started getting more powerful again, and they started getting more money, and they were trying to buy back their stuff, they couldn't get Fox to give up X-Men and Fantastic Four. They were just able to get Spider-Man back, or in a partial way.
They got Daredevil back.
They got Daredevil back because they did that one movie that was bad. But the same deal goes with Fantastic Four, apparently. But if Fantastic Four bombs in the movie theater, the rights revert back to Marvel, apparently.
Okay.
So, a lot of people are, with their fingers crossed, let's hope this movie is trash, so Marvel can get Fantastic Four back.
The guy that's playing Reed Richards in that film, Miles Teller, actually went to my high school.
Really?
But not at the same time as Jackson. But I mean, he graduated from Ocala High in Citrus County.
Cool. I don't know, thinking about that movie, it looks weird because I've come across people and they said it did not feel like a Fantastic Four trailer. It did not feel like you're watching Fantastic Four.
I saw the trailer.
It looked like a current, like one of these current sci-fi movies, like Divergent, like teen movies, like Divergent, Hunger Games. It had that type of feel to it. I don't think that's the direction it should be going like Fantastic Four. That's just me.
I heard that they were kind of based on the Ultimate version.
Yeah, I don't like what it did with Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom is one of my favorite characters, and they made him a blogger. Yes, he's a blogger / low-level hacker, and I do not like that at all. That is just one of the worst ideas they have ever come up with. But now that a lot of stuff is going on with,
what's going on with Spider-Man right now? I mean, isn't he coming back to Marvel?
Well, they got him, how that deal worked out was Marvel told Sony, we will fix your franchise. We will make Spider-Man profitable. We don't want any money. We don't want anything. All we want is the right to use Spider-Man in our movies. So, both of them now, that's why Kevin Feige is the producer. He's the overall producer of all the Marvel movies, including Spider-Man. And they actually shifted movies out of the way to put Spider-Man in. Like Thor was supposed to be in November, it got shifted out to a 3-month jump, and then Spider-Man got put in Thor's spot.
So Spider-Man's getting his own MCU movie or what?
Yes, he is. It's the next Sony movie is going to be considered an MCU movie because Marvel has overall control of the character now. Even though Sony will still get the profits.
Is Paramount still distributing it? Or
I think Marvel has the right to distribute it now. How they did it. Also, which is weird, Marvel is canceling Fantastic Four, the comic book, because of the Fox situation. How Fox and Marvel work, where they were supposed to be a symbiotic relationship. We retain the rights to merchandising and marketing. You make the movies. Fox wanted total control of everything, and Marvel told them no. And it became a contest of wills. Now, Fox makes enough money through the X-Men franchises that they can say, you know what, we'll just do it on our own. We don't need action figures, we don't need anything. we'll make the money. And the last movie did make a lot of money, so they actually have some money in their corner. Marvel on to respond said, well, now they sent a memo down that nobody's allowed to make any new mutant characters. There will be no new mutants ever created. They went ahead and killed off Wolverine in the current storyline. They, anything that would be able to translate into money for the movie was taken away. And then with Fantastic Four, they canceled the Fantastic Four book, which ends this month or next month, just in time for the movie coming out. So like that, the movie doesn't get any free publicity from the comic book. So now, that's why a lot of people are wishing it would fail, so they can bring the comic book back, and Marvel can get the rights back to Fantastic Four and do whatever they want to do with it.
And I wonder how much, influence that the comics would have on promoting a movie. I mean, there's so much back material of the comics anyway, they can stick anything out.
I think that's true. The thing with, like, Marvel, they have so many good storylines, especially. Like, if Fantastic Four were to make good money and they wanted to make a sequel, they got like 5 to 10 storylines they can use for the sequel.
Yeah.
They have quite a few storylines they can use. Same thing with X-Men. But they're running out of the big storylines, though. X-Men has Age of Apocalypse, which is coming out next. And if that does well, I don't know what their next storyline is going to be, because they already did Days of Future Past, which was the storyline of the 80s. Age of Apocalypse was the storyline of the 90s. They could kill off X-Men and try to... Well, they did that with First Class.
Isn't the Age of Apocalypse taking place in the 80s?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like how... Did you watch... Days of Future Past?
Yeah.
It's basically two alternate storylines, two alternate timelines again.
Again?
Yeah. Because Age of Apocalypse in the comic book was an alternate timeline where Xavier is killed when he's a young man. And Apocalypse was never challenged, so he takes over the world, and Magneto becomes the leader of the X-Men. And that X-Men is totally far-skewed. They're more militaristic. They're, a lot of the characters that you would think are X-Men are actually horsemen of Apocalypse. Like Cyclops actually works for Apocalypse, Havoc works for Apocalypse.
So they're going to do like two parallel timelines?
I think this first movie, if they're doing it correctly, should be everything up to Xavier getting killed, and then the next movie would be the alternate universe. That I don't know yet, because they haven't released full scripts on that. Anything else?
Was this goes back to but the Archie meets the Punisher, it ends with kind of a cliffhanger.
Yes.
That supposedly Wolverine would appear next. But was that like a gag, or did they actually intend to do more with it? And then
I think they left it open in case that it sold well and they were able to say, hey, we can do another one later on down the road, then they will throw Wolverine in there. But I think that was a point of, that was the 90s, right? That was around the time,
94,
that was around the time of the second collapse of the comics industry, where it was oversaturated. A lot of stuff at that time was just weird. Liefeld was ruining comics, in my personal opinion. Liefeld and Image Comics were just like totally, story-driven stuff, like Archie, and stuff that was written well was just not being looked at anymore at this point in time. It was all, look how this guy can draw, look how this guy can do stuff. Long looks awesome of the storyline and crap, but who cares, because that, this was the beginning of computer coloring. That caused so much stuff to come out that the industry almost collapsed in on itself, like around 95, 96. That's why you notice a lot of books went under. Then you have Image scaled back and basically was just spawned for a long time. The Youngblood never came back out properly. Marvel with all their holographic covers, their holographic covers and stuff like that. That glut of comics just kind of like killed itself.
But when I look at the monthly sales chart columns now, they're talking about like all these 3D covers and all this other stuff. It seems like they're just doing the 90s all over again.
I think it's more in the limited run. Back then in the 90s, that was their main run. Like when you do the blank cover, they do a small number. They do like maybe 30,000 of that cover. When they do the Alex Ross covers, only 20,000. Because they know that book, they bring the countdown, brings the price up. When it comes to like those types of books, especially when it's a big name book like Spider-Man or X-Men or stuff like that, like not Star Wars. Star Wars issue 1 had 100 different covers. Literally 100 different covers.
Were these incentive variants? Like the shop owners had to order a certain amount?
Yes. Especially the Alex Ross cover. The Alex Ross Star Wars, which is basically, you've seen the old Star Wars #1, right, from Marvel?
No, but I'm familiar with Alex Ross's work on Battle of the Planet.
All right. So it was basically, if you'll ever come across it, it's an exact replica of the original cover from 1978, I think it was 77, the year after episode 4 came out. It was an exact replica of that, minus, but he made them look like Terry Fisher. He made them look like the actual actors, which the cover is awesome. A lot of that was like the rarest one. Then they have another secondary rare one, which is basically the Luke Skywalker action figure cover.
That doesn't look anything like it.
It doesn't look anything like it, but it's the card and the figure is there. They did one for Darth Vader, issue 1 or 2, and they actually have one for Princess Leia 1 or 2. So those are the 3 imprints right now. I don't know if they're doing a Han Solo book, but there's a few other ones that they're playing around with some of the issues. When it comes to covers, though, I think I like that they do those incentive variants. I understand that it kind of like it kind of screws over the retailer because he has to order a certain amount to get that specific thing. That's why if you notice a lot of them go pre-order the book, so they can get that copy so they can actually resell it.
Yeah, I just saw the posting for the June Archie solicits. It's got like Archie #1 has like I think 20 or 30 variants. I think.
Well, I remember Archie Afterlife had like issue 2 had like 3 or 4 really good, nice ones out. But this is like. It's just a big stack of them.
Well, it's like, it's an image heavy thread.
Oh, man. It's like,
in the title, it's been worn in many images.
That's awesome. They, like I said, I'm amazed Archie's actually wanting to compete in the movie space of like how Marvel and DC are putting out stuff, like with Kevin. Like they made him a superhero. They're playing with superheroes. They actually have. I do like how Archie owns the video game stuff, like with Mega Man and with Sonic.
Yeah.
And they've been doing it for years, and those are the only 2 successful video game comics.
Well, maybe Ninja Turtles to a lesser extent back there.
Yeah, and they had the right to the cartoon version of the Ninja Turtles, but they had like
This comic kind of sprung from the cartoon, but went in its own direction.
Alright, because I saw how like they were drawn compared to the Eastman Laird version of it.
Yeah.
And now that Eastman is actually rewriting it, is that under Archie or is that under somebody else? The new Ninja Turtles book. That's
Archie doesn't happen there.
Alright, okay, so they lost it. I like that storyline because it actually took a lot of the concept of the cartoon, which I grew up on. It was like late 80s, early 90s. It was actually a really good, it was a silky cartoon show, but it was really fun.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Archie was about. Archie, they did like fun books.
I think the only Archie stuff of things that I read was this one special spring issue where they actually did a crossover with the Archie character.
Oh, really?
Where the Ninja Turtles were brought to Riverdale.
Oh, man. I like that. Like I said, I like... Archie was one of those companies that just basically fucked the trend. Disney brought back their old school imprint, so now they're trying to bring back Duckburg. They're trying to bring back a lot of other stuff. They're bringing back DuckTales. They're relaunching DuckTales on TV show.
Is this going to be one of those limited?
I don't know if it's going to be a limited show.
Because I know they're doing X-Files Limited, they're doing Coach Limited, but
I know that X-Files is looking like a 5-6 episode.
Coach will be 13 episodes.
So they're bringing back Coach? That's going to be funny.
He's going to be like an assistant coach to his son.
Oh, really?
University.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you have, but I know DuckTales, they want to bring it back out because people who grew up on it like us always talk about DuckTales, and I met some of the guys who do the old school stuff, that they base off their stuff off of Carl Barks and stuff like that. Yeah. And they were saying that DuckTales, Duckburg is stuff that's always asked. It's always asked for.
They did that remake of the old NES game.
Oh yeah,
a few years ago. They got the voice cast.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
They actually got Scrooge McDuck and all of them to do the voiceover work. I think that if it does well, Disney will probably bring it back to, will probably incorporate it into their Marvel stuff. They've been trying to bring Disney into their Marvel stuff a little by little. I'm amazed they haven't come out with a Frozen book. I'm amazed they haven't come out with anything that's like the last 4 years or the last 5 years of imprints of their movies, especially Rapunzel, Frozen.
I mean, because they've been, doing adaptations of like, Stephen King.
Stephen King was awesome.
They did Wizard of Oz, right?
Yes, they did.
Were they the ones that did Anita Blake?
Anita Blake, they did all that.
So they did, other people's stuff. Why don't they do some Disney stuff?
I think they just want to see it. Like now, the next major focus is bringing Marvel to the parks. That's their next step. Incorporating Marvel into their parks. Because but isn't Universal has the rights right now?
Yeah.
I think it ends in about a year or two. And Marvel is not renewing with Universal. And that's why if you ever go to Universal now, like the rides are like not taken care of, and and half the rides are breaking down. Like the Incredible Hulk ride that you booked the other day. They're not to fix the ride or improve them, and they can fix the ride if it's a hazard, but they can't improve the ride in any way. They can't add new rides. They can't do certain things because they want people to not go to Islands of Adventure for Marvel, which was their main attraction. Now that's why they're building up on the Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah.
But now Marvel is incorporated. Now that they own Star Wars also, they want to blow it. They want to take the little Star Wars section that they have for Star Tours. They want to expand it more. If you notice that Star Wars weekends went from like 2 weeks, now it's actually like a month long, and now they want to expand it even longer. They want to start bringing They want to start bringing the Star Wars celebrations. They want to start bringing celebration over to Disney and have them at Disney. Around the same time D23, because I think D23 is in April or May. And then they celebrations in May also. So they want to do convention on top of convention and that. And D23 is awesome because that's all of their stuff. Everything from Disney all the way to Marvel and Star Wars now. It's just a big convention for that. And they hold it in Epcot.
It would be so fun if they did an Emma Frost versus Elsa crossover story.
I would imagine they've done that. I thought they would do X-Men variant covers using the Frozen characters. I I would love to see Emma Frost dressed as Elsa, or them to do a reference to the book on some of the covers, to the other movies. I'm amazed. I'm amazed they haven't done Princess covers yet. If they have, I haven't seen them. I'm amazed they haven't done like Princess variants to some of the books.
For some of the Marvel books. Yeah, there's plenty of female Marvel characters.
Oh,
you have like I don't know, Jean Grey's Ariel.
That's usually the one that I would think, because he's the only redhead that I would see as Ariel. But yeah, some of the other, I'm amazed that they haven't done that. That's just something, I guess, that they put on the back burner for now, or it's just something that they don't think that they should do. I mean, something like that would actually bring younger females into reading the books. And that's what they... See, the reason why they bought Marvel, which is the funniest reason why, is because Disney said, we own the girl market. We own girls aged 5, 3 to 5, all the way up to like 13, 14, 15. It's a lot, we own that market.
Yeah.
We do not have boys at all. So what they did was they said, okay, we'll buy Marvel. Now they have an instant market for boys. But the thing is now, Marvel has to create certain characters that have to translate over to Disney side, and Disney has to create certain characters that can translate over to the Marvel side, so they can cross-brand. So that's why, if you notice, like when they've been rewriting some of the female-centric books like Captain Marvel, and some of the other books, because they're strong characters now. That's why Elsa and the other ones are like kind of like Marvel characters compared to the typical Disney characters. Have you noticed that? They're able to save themselves. They're the ones able to save the day, not the man, which is actually pretty cool. I just wish they would do more of that with bringing that into the books. But hey, you never know. I mean, this is only 2015, and you're still working on the whole overall project of the Disney, Star Wars, and everything. Like apparently the main character in new Star Wars is a female.
I had originally heard that it was going to be Luke's son and daughter, like co-star.
I follow the book, I follow what's going on in it, and without giving spoilers. Have you read any of the Star Wars books, like after? Alright, so you don't know. Alright, there's this thing called Expanded Universe, which takes place after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Now, there's a whole 20-year history of that. Well, Disney said, you know what, all that 20-year history no longer exists.
I know, I read that they have a new canon.
Oh man, they totally like, a lot of people didn't like that, my son especially, because he loves that storyline, the whole entire universe after the fact. What they did was they took characters and like the generalizations of some of those characters and implanting them in the new Force Awakens. So characters that you would think are certain people might be those people still, but they're just not saying those are those people yet. Luke doesn't have a daughter in the original storyline. He has a son, Ben. In the original, after he has a son named Ben, and Han and Leia have twins, which could be one of the two characters in this first movie. Because there's two characters in the movie that could be the children of Han Solo and Leia. But they're not saying if it's them or not or anything like that. Luke apparently will not be seen for the majority of the movie, because the way it's written, he's now the new Yoda.
I would think a better comparison would be he's the new Obi-Wan.
Well, because he disappeared. Luke apparently disappears at the end of Return of the Jedi. He disappears apparently because he's the convergence of the Force, the one that was prophesied. So what is being teased is that because he's the convergence of the Force, he doesn't want either side to get too powerful, as in the Empire can take him and use him as a weapon, and the rebels can use him as a weapon. Since he did his job as in taking out the Emperor and Vader, he's like, okay, I'm done with this part of my life. I'm going to go disappear and just stay out of history's way. That's where he's apparently right now. And then these new Jedi, these new people are awakening to the Force in this movie. So I think it's like the quest for the ring.
Okay.
Basically, Luke is the ring, and then the other characters are like the Fellowship, trying to find somebody to. It's like, hey, we need to find this thing because he's the one that's supposed to help us. And then it's gonna be like the type of thing where you didn't need to help all along. You were the one that's supposed to be the thing. But I'm looking forward to it. I am a fan of Star Wars, and I do like the direction that J.J. Abrams is going with it. I like the way the writing is. And then Ryan Johnson is writing the next one, writing and directing the next one, episode 8. Okay. You know who writes that? The guy that did Looper. If you've ever seen Looper.
That's the one with Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
And I've seen previous.
It's a time travel movie.
Yeah.
It's actually fun. If you sit and watch the movie, it's a fun movie. Some premises of it are a little bit too. I think it takes itself a little bit too seriously at points. But outside of that, I think it's a fun movie. Ryan Johnson is doing number 8, and I don't know if he's doing number 9, and J.J. Abrams is doing the overall like executive producer credit on that. Like how Steven Spielberg, Lucas was on 4, 5, and 6. He let Lawrence Kasdan write it, and who directed the second one. I forgot his name, but he was actually a little bit. Ivan Kershner directed Empire Strikes Back. That's why the movie was so dour and at the end, at the downer ending, because Lucas would have never done that. He wrote it to a point, and then Kershner was like, no, we got to do this, and then we got to make it go that way, because that's the hook that's going to get people to walk into the next movie, and that's how it turned out. This is an awesome film. That's why a lot of people like it. Actually, a lot of people love Empire Strikes Back over all the other ones. Like what are the stuff you like to watch? Right?
Mostly, other than like the various superhero films that are coming out, anime.
So you watch the new Sailor Moon?
Yeah, every first and third Saturday of the month.
How is that? My wife,
basically the original from the 90s.
Yeah.
That was being done. Okay. Originally, Naoko Takeuchi, the creator, had created a manga called Codename Sailor V.
Yeah.
And then Toei was like, Toei, however you pronounce it, was like, okay, we want to adapt this into an anime. And she's like, you know what, it's just one character. Let me do like a team manga, and you can adapt that. So she did Sailor Moon. But it was like a monthly little sketch film. Yeah. So, but it was a weekly anime. So they had to throw in a ton of filler. The original story arc, so like the first story arc was like 13 or 14 acts long.
Yeah.
It was 46 episodes of the show.
Yeah, that's a lot of filler.
And after all 5 story arcs, it's all like 200 episodes. So what they're doing now, they're going back to the original manga, and they're just doing one act equals one episode.
Okay. Oh, that's actually pretty good.
It's a lot faster pace.
So 13 episodes is the first season.
14. You see, this is odd because in about 2003 or something, they revised the manga by, they updated like the technology, like instead of a floppy disk, they put in a CD. So they did that. Plus they divided some of the overly long acts into 2 separate acts.
Okay.
So instead of 13 acts, the original storyline is now 14 acts. So the first 14 episodes of the show is,
but it's basically, is it the same animation style? Like, does it make it?
it's on the same company.
So it looks almost identical to the original.
No,
Oh, really?
they actually, it looks a lot
cleaner.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like it's from the 90s.
Okay, good. That's good because a few people are like, hey, it looks exactly the same as the original stuff. It's like, it can't be because they just like, why would they make it look like it was back in like 84 or 85 whenever they made the series? You know what I mean? Like, but there's some shows that when they redub them, all they do is just take the same stock footage, like Dragon Ball Z Kai. Dragon Ball Z Kai, they basically took the original footage, spliced in new footage, which you can obviously tell is new footage because it looks totally different.
Yeah.
Like the animation style is totally different. It's more energetic and stuff like that. And the camera angles are not as like they were back in the 80s.
They did some stuff like with some of the Gundam films.
Yeah.
Like when they did like when they had the Zeta Gundam and the trilogy.
Yeah.
Some of the footage was old and some of it was new. And
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know why they've done that, but hey.
Apparently that's the thing in Japan is to like kind of remake stuff or transfer to a different format and spin it later.
Because I'm
like with Evangelion, it's like, oh.
What's this, version number 12?
I don't know.
Evangelion is a perfect example of rehashing. I understand you're trying to retell the story, and you're trying to keep it current. It's like the newest version of Evangelion is not even a mecha anime anymore. It's more like almost like a harem anime now. Like, have I heard about it?
I've seen only the first film of the rebuild so far.
They're trying to make it more like romantic comedy or something like that, and the Evas are just basically in the background.
No, because the first film is basically the first 6 episodes of the show, but with updated animation.
Okay. Because a lot of people were saying that when they updated it, they took a lot of the they put the relationships of the characters in the forefront compared to like how it was back.
Well, maybe in the later films.
Yeah.
I think number 2 is the latest one that's been brought over here.
Yeah.
So far, I still haven't gone. I've seen the first one, and I've seen both versions of the first one that they released. They had like 1.10 and then 1.11.
Yeah.
So
I don't understand but they keep trying to change the ending on these things.
I haven't gotten to the ending. I don't know what the ending's gonna be.
I don't know about you, but how many endings is Evangelion? Like just 3 or 4 different endings?
Well, there's the ending to the show, and then there's the ending from the end of Evangelion, which is no longer true.
Was that the one where it was...
where the world got... The world wasn't destroyed. It's like every soul was taken up to the moon or something. It's like circling in orbit around the moon, but somehow Shinji willed himself to come back to Earth. So he and Washika are like the only 2 humans on the planet. And they're fully clothed, but like the entire Earth has been like raised where it's like there's nothing there. How are they going to survive?
I don't know. That's like, what is it? Utica 7. Did you see the movie? What? Utica 7?
I've heard of it, I've never seen it.
It was a big anime a few years back. And the series was pretty cool, but they totally changed the ending when they made the movie version of it. Like, they totally took characters way out of the way they would act, and the ending just totally just went sideways, and I'm just like, really? I just paid $9 to see this, because this was not what I was looking for. But hey, it happens. I do like when you want to do alternate endings to movies that you think would have been the better ending. But, like with Evangelion, they just keep going. And going, and then it's like a different direction. It's like, no, this is how it should have ended. No, then the other guy's like, no, this is how it should have ended. No, this is how it should have ended. I don't know.
With the new Sailor Moon, it's good, but I think the twice per month schedule is kind of hurting it. It'll probably like view better once it's on Blu-ray over here.
Well, it just got released in Japan? Oh,
No, it streams on the internet.
Okay.
Worldwide. First and third Saturdays at the mall from sites like Crunchyroll, stuff like that. It started like last July. So now, episode 18 just aired last Saturday. So the next one should air next Saturday.
Yeah, next Saturday would be an episode.
Yeah, they just recently got into like what would be the second season story arc from the original series. Yeah.
That's not bad. I like that. It could be worse. I mean, I remember watching Dragon Ball when they would do one episode a week. And you know, shows like that when you're a kid, you're just like, come on already.
We're guaranteed 26 episodes, which will take you to the end of the second story arc of the manga.
Yeah.
But then there are 52 acts in the manga, not just 26. But they haven't used any word that they'll be like or not. Yeah.
I guess it goes with the ratings. I haven't, and that's another thing. I used to watch like the ratings on some of these stuff to see if they were gonna go anywhere. But some shows like we had a conversation with somebody. Some shows actually have a really good 15-episode arc, and they'll be 15 episodes, awesome 15 episodes. The show is big, and then now they gotta make a second season or another half of that season. Like they just get picked up, and it's like half-assed. There's like story goes nowhere and stuff like that. Instead of just leaving it as those good 15 episodes. I mean, Sailor Moon has a beginning, middle, and end. They should just cover it as that.
Well, Sailor Moon has she did the first story arc in the manga. Then Toei was like, hey, can you crank out a second story arc? We want to keep the show going. So she's like, okay. So she did that. Then it was like, third one, please. Fourth one. Okay, fifth one. And then it finally ended.
Oh, man, that's great.
But actually, the third season is considered to be like the strongest one, so
really what was that storyline?
that's when they introduced most of the outer century, like Sailor Uranus and Sailor Pluto, and the bad guys weren't out to conquer the world; they just wanted to destroy it.
That's where the line to watch. I had and when I was a kid, Sailor Moon was on, but I didn't like the voice actors.
But you know what? Viz Media has licensed the entire franchise. Well, I mean the entire original franchise. All the episodes, all the specials, all the movies, and they are giving it a uniform English dub. The first two sets have come out. Season 1 Part 1 and Season 1 Part 2. So that's like the entire first season so far. But they're going to go through the whole thing.
That's good. I like, and that was another thing back in those days. They would get rid of a voice actor halfway through the season sometimes, so they would leave because they were sick or they had to do something, and then suddenly change the character's voice.
Yeah, it's like it started off with like Tracy Moore, Sailor Moon. She had voiced Princess Toadstool back in the Super Mario Bros. And then she was on there for like, I don't know, a dozen episodes, and then Terry Hawks took over, and she was the one most associated. But then somehow he did something where something happened that put them in, that Toei didn't like it or whatever. They took away a license and they gave it to Cloverway. And Cloverway kept some of the original voice actors, but they also brought in some other ones. You say with them. So, I don't know.
Hey, thanks for showing up, man. At least you showed up. You kept me talking for a little while.
No problem.
All right?
Yeah.